PGR just like not gonna work today? Hello? What the hell, man? It keeps tabbing out. Okay, load the game. Come on. Okay, load. What the fuck, man? It's not even wanting to close. It's a pain in the ass. Yes, I had to restart the game because it's not working. It takes so damn long to get back in. I sit through logos and loading and waiting. Why do I need to sign in again? I just signed in yesterday. Come on, hurry up. Need to make this process faster. It takes too long to get into this game. No, I don't want to save. Just work. Plus this damn port, the frame rate gets all messed up. Let me make sure it's working before I start playing. No, it's all fucked up again. Doesn't this thing just work? Okay, give me 120. Wish I could skip this mode. It's boring. Need to have a mode to skip this. It's like the most boring things. Stupid board game. It's pretty accurate. Board games are boring. Need some damn good people to make board games interesting. I did like board games as a kid, but mostly because I played with my aunt, who was... She was very much... She passed away, but she was very much a kid at heart. Like, I wouldn't play board games with anybody. This board game in particular, I don't even think my aunt could have made this one fun. Gotta do it, though. We can knock out the battles at least. That's good. Hey, I'm playing some other stuff. I gotta do my homework on this first. Of course, I get the one that takes the longest. You should kill him quick. One thing I find interesting about this board game is that it actually weights itself in your favor. When you're close to winning, when you're close to having everything, it just gives you the right spaces to just get exactly what you need. That's actually not bad. I got half of it done on the first day. Alright, I'm gonna buy something from the shop. Alright, so let's go do Guild Wars. Let's see, did we get good characters this week? Or shit ones? No, we did get good characters this week. Well, mostly good characters. Eco!
僕が計算した弾道をそれはあなたたちの結末はただ一つですそれは隠れている金はもらってる形のない気のない私がするでしょうごねえ私と戦ったことを後悔する刃にし万物を切り裂く私と戦った僕が計算した諦め私がするでしょう僕が計算したそれは隠れているつもりあなたたちの結末はただ一つですそれは隠れているつもりです。ゴルにゾウ侍刃にし万物を切り裂くゾウ侍ごねえゾウ侍私と戦ったことを後悔する刃にし万物を切り裂く僕が計算した弾道諦める私がするでしょう僕があなたたちの結末はただ一つです取るに刃にし万物を切り裂くゾウさん取るんだゴン私と戦う僕が計算した諦めた方があなたたちの結末はただ一つですそれはあなたたちの結末はただ一つです刃にし万物を切り裂く私とごねえね僕が計算諦めた方が賢明ですあなたたちの結末はただ一つです今回も完璧な車線でした
あなたは
彼らの罪を清算しよう大丈夫だ夜を切り裂くこれはベストコピだ夜を切り裂く国家の中斬新が咲き誇る夜を切り裂く
これが九龍の意志
彼らの罪を清算しよう。大丈夫だ。
Did you guys hear that Pinnacle of Combat? The Chinese players are very unhappy with it. They're basically saying the exact same thing the global players are saying. Like, where's the old combat? I think they're in deep trouble. I think they're in deep trouble. Which is a shame because I made that video coming to the game's defense. But there's only been like one new character since then. I feel like now they're trying to like find a way to please everybody. It's like you should have kept the old combat, but then like have the character switching as well. I think that would have made everybody a lot happier. I really think that they planned on like having they planned on making the characters more advanced over time, which is pretty much exactly how this game I'm playing works. You notice I like don't play this character because she's like an early character. She sucks and she's boring to play. And like he's like way more fun to play.
この前話し合った。
I think that was their initial plan, but I think they're probably scrambling to find some other kind of solution because the Chinese players are pissed.
見つけましたよ。
The humans don't really get along with different cultures, but I feel like sometimes our opinions on games change that. They're saying the exact same thing everyone else is saying, like, bring back the old combat, it feels dumbed out.
この一撃で勝利への道を切り
I wonder what they're gonna do. I mean, they've already failed to launch the game once, so I mean, this is kind of the last chance they have. Apparently they haven't been, no, and the native players have been very unhappy with it. Which, I mean, I totally get. I think the game is fun in small doses, but yeah, it's worse than the old one, for sure. I don't think anybody can really deny that.
私の誓いはこの一撃で勝利への道を切り開きます落ち着いて考えますこの一撃で勝利への道を切り開きます
ファンタジーの始まり全開部カデンサご清聴ありがとうございますミヌエットの時間です私も行けます
I don't know, there's lots of misinformation with that game. I addressed that in those videos as well. It's like they don't want to go back to 1.0 because 1.0 only thing it had going for it was the combat. It was in maintenance mode for ages. The monetization was terrible. They had like no pity system. It's mistakes a lot of mobile games make. I'm glad that they have another chance, and I think that that game is the stuff that's not the combat is much better. They just got to keep up a good cadence of updates. Be consistent with how often they update the game. But right now, I think the key is going to be to actually listen to their players. Luckily, they didn't launch with like 10 more characters or something, so I don't know. It's possible that they could change what they're working on. Generally, games like this have like months of stuff done in advance. A lot of people don't know that. A good example is Gundam Evolution, that Overwatch clone with Gundam characters. They're still releasing content for that, even though the game is going out of service in like, what is it, like barely a month? A little over a month. It's going out of service and it's still getting content, and people are complaining about it. It's like, you know, they did all that stuff like ages ago, right? They're just releasing what they had. It's not like they actually have those people working on stuff that, you know, it's not going to matter because the game's dead in a month. That's not what they're doing. So I think with think with Peak of Combat,
この余韻
no one's happy with the game. Their native players aren't happy, and the foreigners aren't happy either. That's a pretty rough situation to be in, but I mean, everybody told them that the old Combat was pretty much the best that you could get on mobile by rather large margin. I don't think anybody could say otherwise, really. I mean, you got it in the name, Pinnacle of Combat. You kind of got to live up to that, and they did before, but they don't anymore. I feel like playing this is better than Peak of Combat right now. This game is an established game now, and it's got a fan base, and lots of updates coming. A new collab is coming.
このコンチルトのあいつがターゲット
If
か
you're gonna play a mobile game with actual good combat and not like whale-based, turn-based combat, then I think this is the better choice right now.
あいつ
Anyway,
がターゲットか
I played this and Peak of Combat for a while, but I kind of dropped Peak.
おい気をつけろ
Hate doing
あいつがターゲッ
Dark
トか
Warzone because she's
全員
so
を切らせてもらうぞ
orb dependent. I think the problem with the variants is that they don't feel like complete characters. They feel like, well, I mean, actually they did if you played the old one, which a lot of people didn't. They pretty much just took a lot of those moves and dumped them on different characters. It doesn't feel very good. If the variations felt like they were actual like improvements and they felt like fully functional characters instead of just having like basic action game necessities, I think it would be a lot better. But the way that game is now, it's pretty much like, I don't know, you could put like 3 of those characters into one Virgil instead of having 4 Virgils, just have one, and then like still have the character switching, and it probably would be like a lot better for a lot of people.
わかりました
But I think they just needed to find a way to monetize the game, because the original one was deceptively pay to win. Anybody who says it wasn't did not actually play the game, and a lot of the content creators did not play the game. And I get that. I get that it's not easy to set up. I mean, I sent them my actual
程度じゃ
personal information to play the game. Something not everybody is able or willing to do, but I have my own Bilibili account. I'm not piggybacking off some person I don't know. But people should not spread misinformation. Peak of Combat 1.0 is very pay to win.
利への道を切り開きます。
Because they stopped
カラスマよ私の刃になってみ
they stopped updating the game, it kind of just stayed like that. You couldn't compete with people who spent money.
全開部
Way worse than this game. I mean, this game is kind of the same to be fair, but
切り開きます
I mean, it doesn't really matter because you get the max rewards just for playing the game. Ranking doesn't really mean much of anything. Like, I can't rank as high in this game as other people, even though I have pretty good action game skills, just because I haven't spent that much money. I don't have everyone maxed out. If I dropped like a whole month's check into this game for like maybe a couple months, I could do that, but I don't really care.
オーバーシュアに始まりま
I still have a pretty good account with limited income I have.
すその時退きなさい
I mean, this next patch I'm probably spending like $70 maybe.
勝利への道を切り開きます。私の視界の外へ行かないでください。
But it's all getting shit that's guaranteed, it's not gambling, so I'm cool with it. This patch, only thing I bought was Battle Pass, and the monthly pass, so I spent like $20.
魂の癒しになりますように
This patch is kind of just a saving patch, so. Alright. Almost done. Let's see who we got this week. Actually, I should redo this, actually. Just for next time. We'll go through these
私が最強ですか
for today.
私の力はどう存分に楽しむ 私の力はどう存分に楽しむ 弱い深淵にの私もみんなを守る透明の結晶が私たちの光を与え生まれ変わらせてください私たちの全ての障害を取り除く 弱い深淵に私もいけます 足引っ張ってなかったですよね。
勝たなければ無意味です。落ち着いて考えましょう。素晴らしい戦術でした。指揮官。
I'm actually not going to burn all my fatigue right now, because I haven't been playing this game straight at midnight, because I've been playing all these other games. If I leave it the way it is now, I'll be back on the same schedule, and it'll reset at the exact same time. I don't know if I'm going to hit rank 8, I don't know if I'm going to hit level 80 on this battle pass, because I didn't really take a break, I just stopped playing as diligently, so I guess we'll see what happens. Chivos. How many black cards do I have? About 23,000. So yeah, if I drop 50 bucks, don't they have that $50 thing in here next patch? Yeah, this would be the best to buy, because that would guarantee SS3 Bolter, and then I'd have a little bit left over for the card. And then I think I've got yeah, I can pretty much guarantee getting her pet as well, because I've been saving this up. Well, I'm in pretty good shape right now. That's better shape than I thought I would be. Well, there we go. That game's done for today. That's right, I was playing this earlier and it's soft locked. It's crashed. That's not good. Let's try that again. We'll have to tell them about that. It's a weird soft lock. Well, I can't play that run anymore. I think if I go to a new run, it should fix itself. Hopefully. Alright, so what else do I need to unlock? Rank S. That's probably going to take a while. Yeah, I guess I should start going for the true ending soon. Just to get the buffs. Alright, well there's no more costumes to get, so I think I'm going to save up for her buffs so that I can start doing the true ending. I don't like playing as the mage, as you probably already can guess, but gotta do it at least 3 times. Alright, it's working again. boss is up that way, so let's go get a blessing first. Yeah, we'll roll with this time. Double jump and air dash is pretty good. We'll mix it up. I normally go for Bellissima, but Bellissima I think is best in slot for this character. Just because you can rank up combo hits really quickly, especially if you get a double hit proc. And then you just kind of just go to town. You pop Bellissima and you can kill an entire wave right away. It's pretty busted. I'll mix it up this time though.
Not this time. Not this time. Up we go. Up we go. go. Ready for this? I know you don't. Get on. Break. Cutting loose. Break. Get on. Unreal. Slice. Slice. Fine, I'll give this a try. Shifana. Oh, has a nice ring to it.
Fuck.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. Not this time. Wahoo! Not this time.
God damn these fucking cowards that keep shooting. Annoying. Worst enemy in every game is guys that just stand there and shoot. Damn obnoxious. Especially when they have armor. pretty rough. Kind of want both of these. Actually, all three. All right. Well, I should be able to afford the other one. HP is really good on this character. Have a lot of margin for error.
Not this time. Not this time. Perfect. Lay down. Ready for this? Ah.
How was that a rank C? I call bullshit game. How was that a rank C? That was a perfect fight. Transformers devastation style of gaslighting the player and telling them the fight was bad when it was quite good. That game had the worst ranking system in mankind's history. Worst. That game was just... You didn't do like 800 headshots. Nothing else mattered. Terrible ranking system in that game. It's one of its major faults.
Oh, no, you don't. Up we go. Perfect. Slice. Up we go. Wahoo!
How did he not die from that? Fucker.
Wahoo! Ah, perfect. Up we go. Not this time. Go. Fine, I'll give this a try. Wait, did it work? For real?
Having a little problem getting past that side of the cliff. Alright, max out RTO. Ooh, more agility, very good. Alright. Look at that speed. Glorious. Fucker. God damn it. Come on, let me move! I don't like when you get stunned and pushing buttons doesn't do anything. You're gonna push buttons anyway. Mashing should do something. This is one of the worst rooms, depending on the enemies that spawn. 'Cause it's not just a straight line, so you can't always tell what's up there.
Not this time.
hype that room a little bit.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. Get on. Cutting loose. Come on. Slice. Get on. Cutting loose. Ready for this? Cutting loose. Not this time. Dead on. Auto. Come on. Up we go. Go. Wahoo.
I hate these rooms because of the guys that spawn at the bottom. Come on, move! I'm stunned forever. I can't. I wish they just spawned like going upwards instead of making you go all the way down. Because a lot of times you just take hits you can't control. But apparently I told them about that and they said they couldn't fix it. That's what really sucks about these gimmick rooms. Instead of just the straight rooms, those are like the most fun because you actually have a lot more control. It feels like you're going forward instead of having to constantly go back down. These guys keep spawning at the bottom.
Cutting loose.
Well, that one was nice at least. I have 3 air dashes right now. I do. I have 3 air dashes. That's pretty awesome. There's a chest back here. someone give him the name. So if I say it, then nobody's gonna understand it. Just post the name, please. Alright. I don't feel like tabbing out of the game. I have no mods. I can just tell him the name of the game. Because I don't have to tab out. I guess I have to. Oh, thank you.
Up we go. Break. Cutting loose. Perfect.
Yeah, it's not exactly a name I can just tell you. Alright. Let's go ahead and kill off this run.
Let's try.
Get most of the rest of the stuff unlocked.
Chef Wana has a nice ring to it.
Okay, it's actually really nice having a map here, because this is, sometimes this last level can be a real troll. Make you go, like, all the way around. Basically do a full clear. The map generation on this level can, troll you harder than, like, any other part of the game, pretty much. This map actually seems pretty good.
Slide to you.
Mostly just trying to get, sigils right now.
Oh.
This is a sigils farming run.
Dead on. Ready for this? Break. Ready for this? I know you're down. Ready for this? Perfect. Perfect. Break.
Actually, this is pretty much a forced full clear. You can't really take shortcuts.
Oh no, you don't. Perfect. Ready for this? Up we go.
Might get sub half hour, depending on how this fight goes. Might finish the game under half an hour.
Time to put you down, beast. You fool.
Cut him loose. Not this time.
Rich.
Ah, damn, that goes out forever.
Get on. Not this time.
Stand aside.
Down. Get on. Cut him loose. Come on.
Nice. 28-47. Nice. GG's. That was a quick run. Very good run. It's fun having like 3 air dashes and like max agility. You can like dash jump across the entire room. That was a fun run. GG's. Frenzy mode is the best mode in this game because you get DMC turbo. It's hard to go back to not having turbo. Pretty much just like DMC. Any game that's got turbo mode. Alright, find me in the credits.
Out of my way! Gone! Useless! Scum! Be gone! Stay down!
Time for the worst boss. Worst boss. This guy needs to get up off his chair so I can juggle him. I like when characters in video games just like sit down. They like don't have any hits done. I think he would take more hits done sitting down, right?
Stay down!
This boss sucks with this character because you don't really have good crowd control. You can't fish for a parry like with Renard. Renard you can go for a perfect parry and sometimes kill like all the ads at once. This guy is not equipped to do that. He's a lot better for bosses though, I think, in some ways. Mostly because he doesn't have to land a perfect parry to stop a red attack.
Stay down!
You just have to get your heavy attack out in time. Sometimes you can't. Sarunio's hitboxes, not great. It's not a Muso tier hitbox. There's nothing up here. There's some cash.
Okay. This shouldn't be too hard. Tastes just like home.
Stay down! Stay down! Be gone! Stay down! Stay down!
Explain to me how that did not break his guard. I was standing right in front of him. The hell, man?
Watch this! One, two, three! One, two, three!
Yeah, I would like that mode more if it felt like you actually increased in power, that you don't. I understand that they didn't want to make it like... They didn't want to make it like Streets 4, where like, you know, the beat-em-up components of the game kind of stopped mattering past a point. I get that they didn't want to make it like that. I totally understand that. But I don't know. That mode just doesn't feel that fun after a while. It feels like... It just feels hollow. Because you get bullshit enemies and you're not given anything to really, like, compensate for it. They were too scared to give you builds, but, like, builds are what makes those kinds of modes fun, in my opinion. It's more fun when you actually have, like, there's strategy around, like, building stuff. I find there's, like, almost no decision-making in, Turtle Survival. It's pretty much just what summon you want or how many crystals you want. That's it. And I think that's why it's gonna get boring quickly. There's no chase items or anything in that game. It's just... I don't know. On one hand, it's better than... One hand, it's better than Streets 4 mode, just because you're actually playing the game normally. You're not, like, shitting out, like, big hitboxes and stuff like that. But I do feel it's kind of less interesting overall. doesn't have the lasting power. I think they were really torn when they made that mode. Just make it more like the standard roguelike, or make it more like skill-based.
Ready for this?
It's a bad fight.
Out of my way!
Yeah, but if you're gonna say that, then what's Streets 4's mode? Streets 4's mode is called Survival 2. I don't know if that's a good defense. I just don't find it very fun.
Okay.
It's fun to turn it on every now and then, but it's also just all the characters are the same in that game too. They're all like clone movesets. The only character I really like playing is Usagi. He's like actually almost completely unique. Karai's alright, but she attacks too slow. And all of her supers suck against bosses, and the bosses are already like the worst part of that game by far, so that's kind of a bummer too. And now you can boot it up right now, it's called Survival Mode. Alright, we'll continue this later. I don't know, Turtles is a fun game. It's nice to play with friends, I think. I think that's why they went with dumbed down movesets, and like every character is the same, but I don't know. As a hardcore beat 'em up player, that game just doesn't hold my interest very long. It's fun to play every now and then. I really hope if they make another one, which I'm pretty sure they will, because that game made so much money. I hope that they make the characters actually different, and have some way to stagger bosses, and not just have them in hyper armor all the time. That game's just weird, because like fighting the regular enemies is fun, because they actually stagger, and they went to like great lengths too to make it so that you don't just push the attack button over and over. You have to approach enemies in different ways, and it feels satisfying to learn how they work. And then you fight a boss and none of that matters. The bosses are just, you pop supers, and then wait until they do something that gives you time to taunt, and then you do it again. Because it takes, what, like 15 hits to get a super bar on a boss. So on a boss, you're very unlikely to actually get your super. So what do? The game just encourages you to stand in the corner and taunt. And because they're in hyper armor, there's not really much reason to try to do anything else either. I feel like the hyper armor is probably the way it is because they designed the game around 6-player co-op. I feel like when you play by yourself or you have like no more than 2 players, they should stagger. It would be a lot more interesting instead of them just no-selling everything you do. Turtles is a fun casual game. I just feel like as like a serious hardcore beat 'em up, it kind of fails for a number of reasons. The hyper armor, the characters mostly being clones of each other makes the game really lose its luster really fast. Especially the base characters. They only have like 1 or 2 differences. They're all like almost entirely the same. It's just like, I don't really care to max them out because it's just the same character, a different skin. I think that they've done a pretty good job of fixing a lot of what they could with Turtles. I don't think that they could really fix much more. They did do a balance patch, and they made some of the shittier characters better. The thing about that game, though, is out of all the beat-em-ups I played, that one definitely basically exemplifies the trope of slow characters are shit in beat 'em ups. And most of the time they are. There is no slow character in that game designed anywhere near as well as Max from Streets 2. Max is like actually the fastest character if you know how to play him. I don't know if it was an accident or not, but I find it weird that like there's been like 30 years of beat 'em up since Streets 2 came out, and nobody learns from that game. Make the slow characters actually fun to play instead of just feel like they're a handicap, like they're Piccolo with his weighted clothings on, with his weighted clothes on. Like, can we stop doing that? If they're slow, they should have some kind of advantage. They don't, though. That's the thing. You kill the basic enemies 1 or 2 hits faster. Like, that doesn't even matter. It makes no difference. You attack slower, which means you can get hit out of it a lot faster, and you move slower. What's the advantage? There is none. They just suck to play, and they don't have any kind of advantage. There's no trade-off. It's just they're slower and they feel like shit to play. Like, all right, I'm just not gonna play that character ever then. Great idea. I don't know, hyper armor can work. The thing about a lot of these new action games is they just put hyper armor on because they're scared that being able to stagger the boss makes it too easy. It's like, well, then you have like something in the game to prevent you from comboing forever, or you have like an actual formula. But it's either the boss staggers and they just get out whenever the hell they want, which is what I call gotcha pull hit stun, or they don't stagger at all, and you don't even have like an engaging defensive mechanic so that you can still engage with them even though they're not staggering. Tales of Arise makes that same mistake. Tales of Arise does have a just dodge mechanic, which in that game's defense it does feel good to pull off. The problem is that you can't fucking cancel into it, so you're stuck in long animations and you just watch your character get hit. Like with the animation canceling mod, that game it's a lot more fun to play. It's still not a good game, but it fixes one of the main problems. It's like, you want me to interact with the walls of hyper armor by dodging into their attacks, right? I mean, that's pretty normal action game stuff. The problem is that you can't cancel into it, so you have characters that get stuck in animations for like 2-3 seconds, and you push the dodge button and nothing happens. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Your game mechanics, your gameplay loop does not work. If you're gonna put the characters and the bosses in hyper armor all the time, the character had better be damn responsive. Otherwise, the game feels like shit to play. That goes for pretty much any action game. That's why PGR, the game I played at the beginning of the stream, that game is not a combo game at all, but I still play it every day. You wanna know why? Because you can cancel out of an animation into a dodge at like any frame. So like, it doesn't matter that they're in hyper armor. You know, if I want to combo stuff, I have other games to play. The combat is still fast paced and responsive. You know, you just kind of have to get into that game, like knowing it's not a combo game, all right? You're not going to do like 8-hour long aerial combos in that game, but the combat is good. The boss fights are good. It actually rewards knowing how to play, and you're given characters that actually fucking respond when you push a button. I feel like they should be forced to play PGR. At least give me like a just dodge or a parry or something that gives me buffs if you're gonna make it so I can't interact with bosses in any other way due to the lack of hit stun. That should be like the bare minimum. A lot of times it's just, nope, most of your moveset doesn't work because they don't react to attacks. They walk through it. It's like, which one is it, man? It's not hard to give you a responsive character and then have the hyper armor bosses, and then the game is at least playable. It's when you don't have both. you have hyper armor and your character doesn't really respond. That's when games feel really bad. That's precisely what's wrong with Tales of Arise. You know, if I'm gonna fight walls of hyper armor, my character should respond instantly when I tell them to dodge or jump or what else. You know, then at least there's some kind of interaction. The interesting thing about Tales of Arise is apparently a lot of the God Eater team worked on it, which makes that game's poor design make even less sense, because God Eater 3 has very responsive characters. You can parry. They have universal parries in that game, and like jump cancels and dodge cancels and stuff. And you can cancel pretty much right at the start of an animation. So it's like you guys already made a game revolving around hyper armor and giving the player an actual responsive character so it doesn't feel like garbage to play. But then you get assigned to make a Tales game and you just forget how any of that works. It's like, which one is it, man? They could have taken the combat system, or like the way that the character controlled in God Eater 3, and put it in Tales of Arise, and it would have been a much better game. It still wouldn't have been a good Tales game, but it would have been like far more playable. I don't know if I still have my second playthrough of Tales of Arise with the mod. I was actually, I'll admit, with that mod, I was actually having some fun. It still wasn't really a good Tales experience, but with the mod to cancel out of any animation, it actually felt like the way it should have from the start. The hyper armor didn't feel as bad because the mod made it so that you could cancel at any point. So it didn't feel like you were constantly losing control of the character. But I'm not playing that game again, though. Only reason I'd ever boot that game up again is if they actually announce like a new Tales game. I'd probably boot it up to like compare the two, but yeah, I will pretty much never play that game again. I think Turtles just suffers from trying to be 6-player co-op, and I feel like they didn't want to bother actually balancing the game differently. The only thing that changes when you play co-op in that game is that you do less damage. The bosses have like I don't know if it's the bosses have more health or you do less damage or both, but that's like the only change. Obviously, when you have like 6 players, you have to have some kind of armor or penetrate system, right? I feel like ideally that game should give you it should let you stagger them a little bit more when you're with like 1 player. I don't know, it just bothers me whenever you bring up stuff like this and then there's always some random nobody that says you just want to combo the bosses all day. I'm like, no. I want to actually interact with the bosses. I want to actually interact with them, like dodge their attacks and get a punish and stuff like that. But you can't punish them when they have armor. And then you have a lot of those games, you have like moves that don't work. They don't work because they're only programmed to work with hit stun, or they put you in the air or something, and you end up slashing at the air and the boss is down on the ground because it doesn't stagger. So what that does is it just makes it so you only want to do like 3 or 4 moves. Most of your options don't work. That's the problem. Is when the game mechanics stop working. The boss fight, you should be able to use most of your mechanics. I can understand like not being able to juggle them for an hour. You don't want that, but at least it shouldn't feel like when you fight a big boss that most of your stuff doesn't matter. It's all pointless. Yeah, that's pretty much what Tails lost. Tails lost that. Tails isn't like that anymore. Tales is pretty much a hunting game with worse combat. That's pretty much what it is now. It's sad. I always tell people if you're gonna play Tales of Arise, you gotta treat it like Skyrim or like a Fallout game or something. There's no reason to play it without the mod. If you're going to play that game, play it with the mod, because then it actually does have some fun. There is some fun to be harvested from that game. If you play with the mod. If you don't, I find that game fucking agonizing to play.
Which battle do you wish to reflect on?
The thing about Tales of Arise is it does have stuns, but they're only for parts breaks, and they can only happen once per fight. Or if you use Alphen's Boost Strike. Alphen is probably one of the most broken Tales protagonists. Which is funny because broken in Tales games usually means that they can do like really long combos, or they have ways to like hit the enemy safely and start a combo or something like that. But because there are no combos on bosses, what makes Alphen broken is that his Boost Strike instantly stuns any enemy in the game. And it's a game where you barely get any downs or stuns or any like damage windows at all. He has the best Boost Strike in the game, and a lot of the others don't even fucking work. A lot of them don't work, either because the boss is in hyper armor, or they're just completely useless. Alphen can pretty much stun. He can stun a boss. He can do Mao and Gekiha, take off half their health, and then do it again, and they're dead. He takes no skill to play. That's what's funny. Complete brain dead Tales protagonist.
I'd rather push on, but we need to defend this position for now.
It doesn't take any skill to play him at all.
So don't get reckless.
At least other Tales protags, at least it took like some skill.
Got my back? I'll do it. Stand down. Take a breather. Take a breather. Stand down. Oh, too easy. My turn. Sorry, we weren't strong enough. You shall pay for this, you hear?
This game like runs way worse after
I have to fall back.
they've updated the emulator. I'm noticing it's running like way worse than it used to. But this game's engine is a mess, so I don't think it's entirely the emulator's fault. But yeah, I'm noticing it's dropping frames like way more. I used to get pretty much a lock 60. It's still better than playing on real hardware. But that game has no replay value. It really needed DLC. That's one of those Muso games you actually want. You want like a $40 season pass. That game is fun, especially like not being a Fire Emblem fan. It's actually a pretty good game. It just has no replay value whatsoever. You can tell they put like all their resources into making like 3 story modes, and then like they got told they needed to release the game like the next month. There's no end game content. There's no real replay value. I guess they want you to just play through the story like 30 times to get all the accessories, but the problem is you overlevel it too quick and you start killing things really quickly. And like even when you put it on the hardest difficulty, you still like power creep everything. But the game's been out for over a year. It came out like last summer, and there's been like no major updates, no DLC. I feel like if there was going to be, they would have by now. I think the game actually sold pretty well, but I don't know what happened there. If there's any game that actually needed like a season pass, it's definitely that one. That game just feels like, where's the rest of the game? You just kind of burn through it all in like 40 hours and that's it. It's the same problem as Part Warriors 4. That game, you can burn through all the content in like 40 hours, and then maybe like another 10 or so for the achievements if you care, and then there's no game left. That's it. Muso's been kind of on a decline lately. Hoping things will get better soon, but kind of doesn't seem like it will. Well, hunting games have big bosses, but they have like damage windows and stuff, where you're actually rewarded for playing well. Tales of Arise doesn't. Tales of Arise just gives you the damage windows for free, but only one character can do it consistently. So there's very little reason to play as anyone else. I actually do think, in retrospect, as somebody who's played almost every Tales game and beaten probably like 80% of them, I think Alphen is the most broken protagonist in series history. Because they gave him the only way... He does the most damage, and they gave him the only way to actually stun bosses pretty much at the touch of a button. So, you stun them, and then you take off half their health, you do the phase change, and then you get healed, and you do it again. It takes no skill. At least other Tales protagonists like Luger and Yuri and stuff, they at least took some skill to use. I mean, the most broken thing that Yuri can do actually does take some execution, and it takes a lot of knowing how the mechanics work to actually set it up. I feel like Alphen is pretty busted from the moment you start playing as him. But supposedly there's supposed to be Tales news this month at Tokyo Game Show, so hopefully we get something worthwhile. I don't know, they've fixed Tales games in sequels before. I want to have faith that they can get things back on track, but I feel like that game just gives them such a bad foundation. I really don't know how they can turn it around. But they have before. They've done it in the past. They've done it on multiple occasions, so maybe they'll pull it off. Copium, I know, but I do think there is a chance that they will make those games actual games again. Alright, I'm gonna try like 2 things and then I gotta go. I'm gonna go get some dinner.
Finally, some action.
This is running way worse too. Must have some regressions in this emulator. It's like running way worse. Is it like compiling shaders or what? I used to have this on the Lock 62. No, it's marginally better than real hardware. Yeah, that game kind of got nerfed too. Sometimes you don't want to update Yuzu because certain games will start running worse. It's a real big problem with Yuzu. Sometimes you gotta keep an old version around just to play like one game. You gotta like write down the version that that doesn't have the regressions and use it for like that one game. Usually when you update Yuzu, it doesn't affect things too much, but there are cases where it does. That kind of sucks. Oh, no, that game's not that great anyway. I got a good like 70 hours out of that game. If the loot wasn't such garbage, I would have kept playing that game, but the loot is the most boring vanilla stuff you've ever seen. It's like they didn't even try to make a good loot system. The loot feels pointless. If I have to inventory manage a bunch of useless trinkets, they should actually do something interesting. When they don't, the game feels really bad. It doesn't help that the inventory management in that Marvel game is like some of the worst I've ever seen. You can carry like 1,000 items, but you can only get rid of 10 at a time. So if you have a full box, you're spending minutes in that screen. And because the loot sucks, it's like it doesn't really matter. I was really hoping with the... They did add a lot to that game with the DLC, but what ends up happening is the loot doesn't get any better, so there's not much of a hook to keep playing. Alright, this is still working fine, apparently. I need to do my New Game Plus playthrough this, maybe later this month. I actually want to treat this like a Tales game and do some solo runs. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, this looks like it's working fine. I can actually run this above 60 FPS, but it glitches out sometimes, it stutters a lot. Let's go ahead and try that really quick. Yeah, 140 FPS. Looks really nice. This is actually the best version of this game. I don't know if anyone knew this, but there's two platforms for this game. There's Switch and PS4. For some reason, they didn't even try with the PS4 version, and it's locked at 30 FPS even on PS4 Pro or backwards compatible PS5. The Switch version actually is the best version because there's a 60 FPS patch. So I bought this game twice. I beat this game when it came out because I'm a big Kamen Rider fan. I beat the game on PS4, and then I found out that there was a 60 FPS patch. Actually, I requested it to be made, and one of the modders made it for me. So yeah, if you want to play this game, best way is Switch version. Unfortunately, this game is oddly demanding. If you try to use the 60 FPS patch on real hardware, even when you overclock, it runs at like 40 FPS. It drops frames a lot. But if you got a decent computer, it's definitely worth it. The combat in this game is good enough that you want it. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice upscaled too. Looks quite a bit better than the PS4 version. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm off today, so I'm not going to my neighbor's house, but I want to get something to eat before it's too late. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We'll probably do some Helvetii. I might do Astral Chain later. I might start some of my Tales game playthroughs, but I don't know if I really want to start anything new right now, because the Pirate Warriors 4 DLC is out in like 2 days. So, we'll come back and we'll play something. I'll see you guys later. Good night.